Hello, hello, hello. This is Donnie C, and we are the Diamond Lounge, and we have a few special guests with us today. Up and coming new artists on the music on the Houston music scene, trying to make their way, and so I wanted to talk to them about any obstacles they may be facing or how they feel about this scene right as it is today, the climate in music in Houston. So, first I have the beautiful Miss Nick Vonco.
Yes. Hey, girl.
Miss R&B diva herself. So, soon to be. So, go ahead. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
So I'm a singer-songwriter in Houston, and I focus mainly on R&B and pop, which is not really something as popular in Houston anymore.
Oh.
In my opinion. I'll just say in my humble opinion. So it's a little bit different, which is why I'm mainly focusing on songwriting.
Okay. Interesting. I really did not get that. But, I'm not in the scene, so that's why we have you here.
Okay.
And then we have the Trip King.
The Trip King.
Yes, because I had to make sure they know. Don't get it confused. The Trip King himself here. One of our upcoming Houston freestylers. Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Whether you say it or not, I feel like it's true.
Okay.
So, but tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm just an independent artist in Houston who trying to maneuver through the traffic. That's it.
That's
I
it.
feel like it's very diluted, and I just want to bring some substance. That's all.
Okay, I can feel
That's
that.
all.
I like that. And last but not least, because I surely did not forget my one and only special host,
You know what I'm saying?
Mr. Scrappy, Derek. What do you want to call? What am I calling you today? Just scrap.
Scrap it, dude. Leave Derek out of this.
See, why we can't ever get Derek?
Because that's when Derek wins, you know what I'm saying? Good things going on in life.
These are good things. Wait a minute.
Well, I'm talking about for us. Other thing.
Okay. I'm
Okay.
gonna let you make it. So anyway, like
It's
I
a good thing, though.
thank you.
You're coming by my stage name.
I completely understand. So, as I was saying, y'all know Cardi B came to the Houston rodeo just like last week or so, whatever. And at the time, she had broke the record and made like the highest sales in their history at the time. She literally got surpassed like right after, but
Right.
at that time she was the highest selling. And so there was a meme out there where it was saying, basically, for all these Houston people that went out to go show Cardi B all this love, make sure y'all go out and show your own Houston artists the same kind of love.
Right.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad. Okay, so I have my own opinions about that, but I want to hear, how do y'all feel as Houston artists, whether it's behind the scenes or directly in front of the camera, how do y'all feel about the Houston scene and I guess the love you feel like you're shown or not shown from your own people?
Well, can we hear your opinion first?
I don't want to taint.
Okay.
Okay. My opinion is, I feel like Cardi B built a platform for her to make those kind of sales.
Right.
So it wasn't like she was just some, backwoods New York rapper that came down and blew up the Houston rodeo. She had a freaking, social media following.
Right.
She's on talk shows. She's on late night. She has a huge following and support base. So she's pulling in that crowd from all over.
For
from
sure.
Across spectrums, across races. So I don't feel like, it's a matter of, come out and support the Houston people the same way you support Cardi
Right.
B. No, support the talent that you see that's out there, the work that you see that's out there. That's my take on it.
Right. So I'll say what I want to say now. Okay. I agree with you. I think that a lot of independent artists don't really understand the grind behind being a major artist. A lot of the things that Cardi B is doing right now is out of her control. She has agents. She has a manager. She has people who are putting her on these platforms. She built a following, which was worldwide. She went on a TV show, and she branched off. So if you're not doing that, it's kind of hard to say, well, you know, hey, everybody support me the way you're supporting Cardi B. You're not Cardi B.
Exactly. Her
You haven't
grind.
put in the same amount of work. Now, I will say, when you are an independent artist and you are doing everything by yourself, it is much harder, and you literally have to be everybody in one. So if you're not doing that either, then let's not ask for support if you're not doing everything that these other people are doing out here. That's just how I feel.
It's a hustle, you
Yeah.
know. I mean, if you're not on it, you can't get mad at the next person that is.
Right.
Well, my take on it is, as an independent artist, you'll, especially up and coming, if you haven't scratched that surface, you'll never get the credit as a major artist.
What surface?
The underground.
Oh, okay.
It's a lot of underground artists, talented artists,
You mean like those mixtapes and all that kind of stuff?
or just people who they might not even necessarily put out projects like that, but they could be putting out singles constantly, because nowadays, you know, people want so much music that
And
it's
you
probably
keep-
best to just keep putting out singles instead of put out a project, wait 2 months, 3 months. It's just best to keep putting out. You can put out a single every week and just keep pushing that. You know what I'm saying? That's one of those marketing strategies.
Yeah, because do people buy records anymore or a CD?
A lot of things are streamed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
streamed.
Everything is
A
streaming.
lot of things are streaming. Major artists aren't selling records. Yeah.
So
you know, but I don't think that we're gonna knock her, Cardi B. I don't know if she should have deserved a day.
now that
Did she get
she
a
got a
day?
day?
She got
Yeah.
a day.
now that I
Okay.
agree with.
Now Houston,
Yeah, Houston
come on
giving
now.
everybody
Houston,
days.
yes, come on, Houston.
But that's
Does
on the
Beyonce
mayor.
have a day?
Yeah.
No,
You know?
I don't think so.
Let's not do that.
Because even K. Michelle got a Houston day.
Right.
I don't even
I know
she
K.
did.
Michelle got one
Right.
because when she came down here, she got one. I thought I could have.
I
A lot of people got a day.
Only a day should
Somebody
be-
look up and see. I think Beyonce has a date.
She better
She
have a
might.
day.
She might.
You
Kelly
only supposed to
Rowland
get
needs to have a day.
You only supposed to get a day
Yes.
if you live in that you from based on that city.
And
Like,
I-
not no out of towners or anybody. should
And
not
I
get
think
a
it's
day.
based on what you're doing in the city, or
Yeah.
like what you
Exactly,
have
how
done.
you contribute
For
to
example,
that
like
city.
Trey, I gotta salute him because when Hurricane Harvey came, he was
does a
out
lot.
there.
Honestly,
Went
Trey
out.
is a awesome dude. Like he's remarkable. Like the work he puts out there, and he is slept on so much.
Absolutely.
And I think it's
Well, the
because
radio's banned him.
Exactly. I was gonna say, he got that band that has put that shout on him, but that needs to come off because that's
Absolutely.
ridiculous.
Well, I'll say this just to piggyback off of that. I think Houston is political. And I'm just gonna bring it out to light, whether that's something that people respect or not. I think that Houston is definitely political. It's about who you know, who you're networking with, how much money you have, how much money you're willing to contribute to what you're doing, because a lot of times there are talented people who get overlooked because they're not putting out the money or they don't know this person, and that's unfortunate, but that's the game. So
Okay. So the music scene is not just who you know; it's about what you can pay for,
I think so.
what you can spend on it.
Are you paying
no
for
doubt.
promotion?
No
are
doubt.
you networking with these radio hosts? Are you paying them for their time? It's a lot of stuff that people don't know.
Getting out
Pay,
of that.
pay their way to the top.
You
Pay
have
your
to.
way to the top, because
And
a
you
lot
have
of times, they're like, well, they'll listen to Trip or they'll listen to me and say, well, why aren't you on radio? Because I'm not willing to pay such a large amount when I can do that on my own and promote my own stuff. You have to know what you're capable of and what you're willing to sell yourself short for.
Okay. So there's a lot of behind the scenes thing. Like, I didn't know about the whole. Well, I kind of heard a little bit about that. I didn't know how deep it went as far as paying to be on those syndicated platforms, so to speak, the radio stations and all that kind of stuff. So I didn't know it was to that degree.
I think that's.
I
think that's the
across-
industry.
I think that's the norm.
I was gonna say, is that a Houston thing or is that across
the industry?
board?
Like, it was a dude named he does Say Cheese TV, and I saw him. He said I do something called POP, and it's called like pay or play. Pretty much, if I don't know you, you're gonna pay your way, and if you believe in yourself that much, invest in
Then
yourself.
you'll pay.
And if not, play hard enough to where you get on my radar. So that's the thing. It's like a lot of times with me, I feel as though I have to be honest with myself and say I haven't been consistent. I go harder than
You do. I mean, honestly, I keep waiting for
95%
more
of
work to come out of you.
the rap game.
He said 95%.
95% of the rap
You put
game.
out big numbers like that. You better.
I'm just saying, if you was to put up lyrics based on whoever your favorite lyrics is and me.
Mm-hmm. So then, what is stopping you from going
Again,
harder?
consistency.
Then? I know what's stopping you from being consistent.
Life. I'm one of those artists that when real life drains me,
Okay.
I kind of fade to black. You know, I still be having to do stuff, but if time, you know, I got real life responsibilities. A lot of these cats, especially the younger guys, they stand at home with their mothers and they can just put out nonsense or go to the studio every day. I don't have that luxury.
Yeah, they stop taking care of their responsibilities and
Yeah.
just focus
That
on self,
too.
and then that's when you be hearing all them baby mamas and stuff
Yeah.
coming out.
All that at the end, right? Or they
Not the
sell
baby
sell
mama.
drugs.
I
You know, I'm a working man.
You're a legit man.
So
You
I,
are.
you know, I try to keep all my things in that element.
All right. Do y'all feel like it's a difference from the hip hop or rap side versus the R&B side?
Absolutely.
It is.
I even kind of agree
Absolutely, especially if you're a female. You got to think about what people want to see when you're a female. Like, is your hair done? Is your makeup right?
Is your
Do
body-
you have dancers? Is your body right?
What you showing?
What you showing? It's a lot of pressure on females. And it again, if you're independent, like I found myself paying for literally everything. I was paying for my dancers to get their hair and makeup done. I was paying for their outfits. You know what I'm saying? It's a work ethic, and the payout is so whack when you're just trying to be exposed. You just want the exposure, and you want to be out there, and you know you want to show people your craft. It's very hard. It's strenuous, and I don't think people understand that when it comes to like the R&B, and then not to be supported. I don't want to say not supported. I just feel like Houston is majority rap. And so when you go to a lot of these showcases, you one of the only few singers there, and it's like you kind of look like the eyeball because people are coming there for rap.
Yeah,
They're not coming there for R&B.
Yeah, they ain't the crowd.
That's not your
Yeah.
crowd. So then you have to figure out, where is my crowd? How do I keep my name out there, because this is not where I'm supposed to be.
And
So
I
that's
think
a
I have
struggle.
a solution to that.
What
to
is it?
piggyback off of what she said. I think the idea that we should have now is stop searching for all these other people. They putting on these events, and let's go into them and
your
put your own
own.
event on.
Yeah.
So instead of searching for the plug, you become the plug. I'd rather stack my money up, go rent out Warehouse Live, and put on my own show. And,
Right.
and if it's 30 people or if it's 200 people that want to come and look for me or Nick, then what we do is we have videographers. You get them to film it. And now with social media, everything is about a look.
Right.
So now with social media, they see you doing this and see you doing good. And it's like, oh, they doing their thing. Oh,
Let me
that was
watch.
his
Let me
show,
watch
his
them
self.
more. Let me
Right.
follow them more.
Right. And
Let me
now
let
you
me
continue
share
to
them.
do
Let me
that.
promote them.
Yeah,
And that's the
then
whole.
never knowing which eyes is gonna see what.
Right.
Right.
You never know who's watching.
No, and that's the whole thing. Like, you know, y'all both are touching on the thing that I guess is what I'm focused on. It's the work ethic.
Yeah.
It's the drive that you have to promote and keep pushing and investing in yourself.
For sure.
That is gonna take you somewhere or nowhere.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and that whole, you know, like you said, make your own way, make your own show. Why wait on someone else to fund it or give you a chance or try to open your own door?
Cause you got so many people that don't want to spend that, because they don't know in the music industry you gonna spend way more money before you even start gaining
At
anything.
all.
Period.
Right.
Heck,
You
even-
gonna take losses and
Period.
everything.
I think that has to in any kind of social entertainment, any kind of industry. It's always an outcome. I'm sorry, it's always an expense before you start receiving.
True.
I
Yeah.
would agree, but not as much.
In what way?
And for example, I got a cousin who was an actor at one point.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he would have to go to these showcases where he has to act out, but that's just him. You see what
Does
I'm
he
saying?
not have to do the headshots?
I mean, yeah, you
though,
got
and
you
the
got to
acting
do
classes?
that, but let's
Well,
say
hopefully.
no acting classes.
Oh, he wouldn't.
No. So he'll just go out. He actually was doing YouTube stuff, and he was pretty good.
Okay.
But when you're an artist, let's break down everything that you have to pay for before the song is made. You have to purchase the track, then you got to purchase the studio time, and then when you get to that, now if you want a single, you got to purchase the graphics to get it done,
The promotion.
the promotion to get it done, and that's one song. An entire project itself can come out to like $1,000.
if not more.
Yeah.
For one project.
For one
For
project.
one song.
And that could be, no, that's one project.
Okay.
That's like a collective.
Okay.
That could be 10 songs, 5, however you want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Then the videos, You know what I'm saying? You got it's a lot of things that artists pay for. So when you have a team of people, that's where your blessing and that's where the love comes in. When you got people that believe in you to say, "Hey, let's do this."
And that's a team of people that you paying for also, right? Or no?
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes, and other times, I got some people who they love me and they want to see me win just like I want to see them win. So you know, I don't necessarily, let's say, I won't have to. I might get a deal somewhere out of it. You know what I'm saying? But you still want to see your people eat, so you still try to do whatever.
But that's why it's good to have someone in your crew who's just like, say, for instance, you got Miguel who do the videos.
Yeah.
It's good to have somebody in your crew repping the same thing you repping and doing something different to where y'all benefiting from each other.
Right.
You don't have to, y'all coming up together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So y'all got the same grind, y'all got the same passion, and and instead of, all right, now I gotta go find somebody to go do this. I gotta find somebody to go do that. It's good to have people in your own circle that knows how to do multiple things. Even if you got somebody who make clothes, okay, you got a design, you got to, you know what I'm saying, doing in fashion. They making clothes, you wearing their clothes, you know, and then you got your own homeboy who doing videos, and then he's shooting the videos, and everything's coming together, and it's almost a look all at one time that somebody will see.
Yeah.
And it's not knowing it's multiple people that's in within your own circle and your own group that's coming all up at the same time.
Absolutely. And you got to think. Let's say, like Scrap was saying, somebody to make clothes, somebody to do the videos. Let's say if my dude wanted to charge me $300 or whatever the case may be, and somebody else charging $5, or somebody else could actually charge $3, somebody else can actually charge $2. I'm gonna still go with my guy because it's about not trying to throw off the subject, but it's almost like how black people want to keep the black dollar. It's about keeping that money in the circle.
Within your circle.
And and I get to see him eat. I don't want to, it's gonna sound crazy, but I want to build with my people.
No, that's not crazy. I mean, my personal opinion is how it should be.
Right.
Yeah, have your own team is important.
Yeah.
You want to stick with the people who believed in you from the beginning.
Right.
Period.
You can't feed a neighborhood without feeding your household.
Period.
That's just the bottom line. So
especially when people like to do things out of love and everything ain't about the money all the time.
Right.
Because, all the time, if I don't have the cash to even do some of the stuff that's required.
Absolutely.
But I think the major point to have though is that you have those people that are just as dedicated and passionate in whatever their field is that you're building up with. Not just because Pookie and them my family, so I'm gonna put them on just because this be blood. No, what is Pookie trying to do? And what is he legitimately trying to do? Is he really trying to put out the work? Then yes, come on Pookie, let's build up together.
Right.
Let's come.
It can't just be idle time.
Right.
No,
because the movement doesn't have time for that.
No.
Whatever your movement is, you can't waste it.
So, because I kind of in a sense, with what I want to do with this platform and this podcast, I'm almost in the same boat with y'all. Like that whole expensive, honey, it's not free to have a podcast. Okay.
Yeah.
Especially not one as nice as this.
So thank you so much. It costs money, but that's okay. That's a dollar I'm willing to spend because, and it's more than $1, but because I believe in what I'm trying to do, and I believe in what the direction that I want to go in. And at the end of the day, if I just teach, or reach one person and get one person to start thinking about something in a different way, that was my goal, especially in our community. That was my goal, like let's uplift each other and get somewhere, And so I know a lot of people we have a lot of people in the music industry in our family and outside of our family that are trying to do something, and they look at the outsiders or those other people making it, but keep in mind there's a grind out there that you're not seeing.
Right. You don't know what they did to get where they are. You don't know what they spent. You don't know where they slipped. You don't know anything about the behind the scenes, because all the people see is like when you put out that video, that's all they see. They see the glamour. They see the models in the video. They see the big boats. They see the nice cars. Some of that stuff half of the time isn't even real. Like I was explaining, like this is a job at the end of the day. Like, it's my passion, but you got to think of it as a business.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm going out on that video shoot, I am not really thinking about being glamorous. I'm thinking about how does it look
Exactly. Like,
to
okay,
be glamorous.
Where's my camera shot? Where's my angle?
Right.
What's
Like,
the lighting?
is the light hitting me
You know,
right?
like,
I need to
what
know.
are you doing your job? Do I have a fan? Like, it's
Yeah.
a lot that goes into
It's
the
pure
production.
entertainment.
So,
Pure entertainment.
but I do, I value y'all input so much because, I've seen y'all grind and I've seen y'all do things, and like I said, I'm a fan, and I can't. I wish y'all would do more and actually put stuff out there for to grow and be consistent, so that this could be more on a global thing, because y'all have a talent that I feel like is not being served in its full capacity.
And people need to hear y'all.
You. Amen.
But like y'all said, y'all gotta get that hustle.
Yeah.
It's a grind, and it's a tough one,
Mhm.
but you got to thank God for all His favor and grin and bear.
But
keep on moving.
a question I need to ask y'all, like even the people that are on, I guess, hot at the time or whatever, and they just say like, they be like, oh yeah, I just started rapping a few months ago, and
Yeah,
then they catch that one break. Do that type of stuff. Like, I understand. I know it probably get to y'all a little bit to like damn, like why? I've been doing this shit 10 years. And
I think they can only do that with rap.
Yeah.
See, in her craft,
No.
I don't.
Yeah, you can't
I
do
mean,
that.
in R&B, first you got to know how to sing.
Yeah.
They got harmonies, they got melodies, they got octaves.
I
Sing or
disagree now.
dance.
I disagree now. The music has changed so much. Like, back in it, like, think about it like this. Would Whitney Houston pop off today? Absolutely not. She had a voice. But there are so many people now and so much technology, like auto-tune and all of that. Like, you barely have to sing
They
anymore.
faking it before they make it.
It's almost like, okay, you could sing, and like that's how I feel now.
They want you to dance. They want you to model. They want you
Right.
to
You have
act.
to have a look. You have to,
They
like,
want you to pop it on a handstand. They want you to do a
comedy.
lot.
It's a lot.
do comedy. Are you a stripper? I get that a lot.
Yeah,
And it's like, is that the story for everybody now? Like,
that's what it seems like. It's like you have to come from the gutter, the very bottom, so that people can appreciate you, anything you do. So if you in the middle ground, they looking like you.
right. And no shade to strippers. Like, I like the strip club, but at the end of the day, is that everybody's story?
It gotta
Like,
be.
why do I have to have auto-tune? I've literally had people say, let's put some auto-tune on it, and it sounds perfectly fine without auto-tune.
But that's what's hot.
That's a new struggle. That's a new
I
struggle.
think it goes to what the industry is molding.
Mm-hmm.
They taking this from what it used to be into making it into, like, I don't want to knock all the other people, so I'm trying to be careful with my words, but it's going into crap. For example, it used to be about uplifting your people.
Okay,
All right.
I agree.
And everything. Then you had people who were lyricists. You had people who you used to be like, man, I wish I could do what they do. And that's
That
all people could do
wordplay
is
was-
wish they could do what they do. Now when you have people saying, I didn't pop the lean, I didn't sip some lean, I didn't pop the
Mumble
Zan,
rap.
yeah. Everybody can do that. You understand what I'm saying? So now you making something, and that's why it's oversaturated as it is, because it's no real talent in it.
Well, everybody's a star now. You got social media. Like, the social media changed everything. Everybody's a singer. Everybody's an actor. Everybody's a model now. Like, this is just what it is. So even the music is all the same across the board. Like, singers are sounding like rappers. Rappers are sounding like singers. So
Right.
where do you fit in?
Right.
So you gotta find that basically that niche that takes you just one step above.
Right. You have to be super different, and people have to like it. And if it's usually when it's not the same, it's not that they don't like it, it's just not the trend.
Yeah,
So how do you fall?
that sucks.
Yeah,
But
it's a different game now.
And then another thing I would like to see, I don't see it. I don't know if y'all do see it. As far as the older people, the older, well, just say Houston legends or known Houston artists, start reaching down to the up and coming.
Reaching back.
But I'm talking about the ones who are putting in that work, and like Atlanta, for instance, they stick together so much. and they jump on each other's songs and do everything, you know, from the bottom. Like, we ain't gonna wait till you get way up here, then we start messing with you. It'll be a song they just like that of a youngster nobody never heard of. And they'll jump on that song with that guy, you know, and they'll do a few songs, and then next thing you know, that dude popping, all because of this person, this known person. You know, I don't see a lot of cosigns coming from Houston. I see a lot of all of the younger artists. It's like they doing more things together than I see older artists reaching down and doing something, or helping, or even just posting whatever album they done dropped or single they done dropped or whatever they got going on. Just, hey, check this artist out right here. You know, if you like him, you know, and he doing something. You know, I don't see that a lot, like from Houston.
Why do you think that is? That our more seasoned vets, the Beyoncés, the Kellys, the who was our senior rapper other than Ghetto Boys?
Scarface,
Travis
Scott. Travis Scott right now.
Paul Wall,
you said
Slim
senior?
Thug. Yeah, I like the senior ones.
Senior,
that's like,
I wouldn't say Travis Scott, but I would say Slim Thug,
Bun B
Trey,
and
Bun B.
But they have done. They wrong. They done songs with local artists. But I'm just saying, I don't see it a lot.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I'll say this. I lived in Atlanta. The mentality is different, period.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to work with everybody. If there's a common interest, like, it doesn't matter like how much you've done or how much I've done. Like, if we are both talented, we're going to work together. In Houston, it's a little bit different. I'm not saying that we won't work together. I'm saying that it's about what have you done? That's the first question. What have you done?
That should make me want to get on your record.
Right. Like, have you been on radio? Have you done this show? Have you done this? And it's not really based off of, like, do I like what you sound like? Do I just want to work with you because you are dope? Atlanta's just a different atmosphere.
Do you
Can I touch on that?
Go ahead.
I get what you're saying, but I don't fault anybody because nobody owes you nothing.
No, I ain't saying
like,
nobody. Yeah, you're right.
I know what you're saying, and I know that other people may do that, but I feel like I'm always like this. Go harder. Mm-hmm. Like it ain't nothing that could be said. Go harder. Well, this person don't know. Go harder.
I agree.
You know, this person don't. You still in Houston. Go harder. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's my thing.
There's an underground person now that's like, he's starting to blow up. Toby. I don't know.
Toby didn't,
you know,
like, blew up
and
now.
He started off just on social media. Just you know, well, actually, I was following him before that, but he started off as a poet,
right?
You know, doing poetry, and then he turned it into his poetry. He always could rap
flows.
Though. Yeah,
right.
He been rapping since, like, I remember hearing him on them freestyle CDs they did back in high school.
Right.
You know, so.
But I did look at it more like, you know, help the Houston music scene get noticed. It had to start within your own city, and it's almost like if you ain't popping, if you can't get your own city to back you.
But Travis didn't.
Well,
but,
exactly.
You know,
Beyonce didn't either. Destiny's Child. They all went somewhere else to come back to put on for their city, which I think is unfortunate. We don't have any major. You have to also look at it like this. Atlanta has major record labels in the city. Mm-hmm. We don't have that. They have major studios in their city. Besides Barron Studios, I really don't know what other major studio we have in Houston. Or they have CSAC there. They have an ASCAP community there. What are we doing in Houston to put on the same thing? This is where people go to network who are serious about music. We just don't have that. So it does become a thing where, like, of course, like, you want to put on for your city, but you do kind of have to go out to these other places that have the resources that you need to put on for your city.
And I think that's where it all lies. Like, it's not so much that Houstonians just don't support our own.
Right.
We just are not tied in like other metropolitan cities that are supporting their own. Like, we don't have those resources. So for us, yes, I'm only going to support those people that I think are dope. Right. That are my own. Like, you know, if I hear you coming up and I like your sound and I like what you're doing, I'm going to support that when I can.
Right.
But again, I don't know about your, you know, situation or what's going on with you behind the scenes or what you can't, you know, how much you can promote yourself. So that, you know, it all falls, I guess it's like hand in hand.
Right.
And that's when you start having that catch-22. Because it's like, yeah, I would love to support you way more than, you know, what I'm doing right now. But I also need you to support yourself. You know,
right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about for those who are hot, they put in that work ethic. That's what I'm saying. I ain't saying for you just slouch, you know what I'm saying, being a slouch.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, like, I think like how she was saying, we don't, you know, since like all those things you were saying, I don't even know about that stuff. Mm-hmm. So I feel like, you know, for those of us that are not aware of all the behind the scenes in the music industry, that's a part of the reason why Houston and music in Houston is not just popping like that, in a sense of you can't just start from here and blow up here. Not most people. Yes, of course there's outliers, but for the most part, you're not just gonna start here, blow up here, and that be it, because the resources are not here for you to do that.
Right. I mean, they are just in a different capacity. Like, we don't have any major labels out here, period.
Or just workshops.
Or we don't have songwriters workshops.
Or even our radio stations. Like, other places have radio stations that are nationally syndicated.
Right.
We don't have that. Our radio stations are here in Houston.
I mean, even our 93.7, you got to think about the Breakfast Club. They're not even here.
They're in New York. That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
they're not here. You can't go speak to them. You can't say, hey, man, I really got a dope
record.
And
I work in that building.
That's what I'm saying. so it's just a little different. I don't think that Houston doesn't want to support. I just think that until they know who you are, it's kind of hard to really support you. We don't have big showcases like in Austin. Mm-hmm. Austin has it every year, South by Southwest. People go all the time. This is how you get exposed. What are we doing in Houston?
And that's when I think that's maybe that's where, if the veterans, the veteran, artists, if they do care enough, maybe they could come, or even y'all, whoever, maybe somebody can come to that place to say, hey, let's start building that showcase.
Right.
Let's start making that summer show for our city, with our city, musicians and music and sound. It has to start somewhere with somebody.
Exactly,
right.
Exactly.
So if someone were to start that, then it could, start building its own momentum and blow up, and then we could have a South by Southwest.
I agree.
Or we could have something else, but it has to start somewhere with someone with enough passion to invest in it.
Yeah.
And so, what you think?
I think it's about the demographic. Like, what is Houston known for? Houston is one of
the
fourth largest city, I believe, and more people move here every day.
Yeah, like 4,000 a month.
It's traffic and it's congested every day.
Like
at 3 o'clock. It used to be just 5 o'clock and it was traffic. Now it's like 3 to 7.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So with that being said, you have to understand, we're big on plants. We're big on oil. We're big on energy. You know what I'm saying? That's why you have the energy corridors. You have the Port of Houston. It's ports. You see what I'm saying? Like she was stating, with Atlanta, with L.A., with New York. Those are monumental for music. You see what I'm saying? We don't really.
But you don't think we could be? That's what I'm saying.
What I'm saying is
to
to build that entire thing. I mean,
it might be unfathomable right now, but that doesn't mean it can't happen.
I don't know.
I don't think it's I don't think
coaches song.
Oh, they gonna take the coach.
Well, the thing is like every song you hear has chopped and screwed in it. Like,
and that's not even
every song.
To me, that's
hear,
not really our sound anymore, is it?
It's not our sound anymore because everybody has taken it. Like, you have to understand, like, we are a musically driven city. It's just that we don't have a very big platform to say this is a music city like Nashville. Nashville is the same thing. It's a musical city. Mm-hmm. People know it for being country. A musical city. But when you think about Houston, we have all types of music here. We got country music, we got rap, we got R&B. We have a lot of different things. So I just think that really what it is that nobody has stepped up to say, let's make this a musical city, because everybody is going everywhere else and using our sound. Bryson Tiller, no shade, but when I first heard him, I thought he was from Houston until he said, I'm not from Houston, because everything he said sounded like Houston.
Yeah.
So,
Well, of course, this is a place where I feel like we can definitely grow in. Did you have any final thoughts, Scrap?
Nah.
Nah. What about you, Trip?
Nah, I think that about covers it. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's always more that can be said on it, but
okay. Well, like I said, I feel like this is a place where we definitely can grow as a city. Mm-hmm. It just takes that person that is, like I said, dedicated with that passion and that wants to make that investment to start something.
Yeah.
So that we do have that platform. It can happen because we're a very rich city. It just takes the right investor. Like you said,
but we're rich in what? You see what I'm saying? It's like we're rich in.
The point is, we are a rich city. The resources are out there to make it happen if someone wanted to. That's all. So. But until that time, if you want to be out there, do the work.
Yeah.
Be consistent.
Yeah.
You know, get your name out there. It can happen, you know?
And it's
So,
gonna be a group effort in whatever we do.
always.
Because Houston is so dope. Houston is so dope. They took the drink and all that from us. They took the slow music from us. They took that dripping and all that. People can say what they want,
That's Houston.
but them South guys started that. And now
The drip?
Yeah. Them Sauce Twins started that.
I
Oh.
think
They
that
took
started
Trill.
before
They
that.
took
take
Trill.
Trill.
Nah.
It's just
People
a-
had flavor and they might have had sauce, but drip, that word.
No, drip is definitely a Houston thing.
Them,
I think
them
that
dudes
happened
came
before
with that.
sauce,
They did
though.
the whole song. They did Sauce Twins and I'm flavor, I'm splash, and I'm dripping. Now every rapper, from the Futures to the T.I.s to the what name a big artist.
Plies big song got right now.
I got drip for sale. You see what I'm saying? So with all that being said, I'm just showing you how dope the culture is and how dope the people are and the artists. And I just think if we grouped up, anything is possible.
We have influence over the culture.
Yeah,
For sure.
Major influence.
just don't get no credit.
Just don't get the credit.
It sounds like Houston needs that awakening that black people need. You have the power.
Right.
The power is within. Make
Right.
it happen. So, like I said, maybe one day we'll wake up and see that and come together and, hey, make it happen.
Right.
So, but thank you again. Thank you to my guests. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you for having us.
I really enjoyed my conversation with
Me too.
y'all. I hope if I get a chance and if y'all have a chance, maybe y'all can join us for our next one, because our next show is
Man.
gonna be about colorism, that topic that we kind of touched on at our last episode, but didn't really get a chance to really go into. It's gonna be about colorism, and just the relations between black men and women. You know, so we're gonna go a little bit deeper in that and just
Relations. Sex?
I'll be
No.
here.
Oh.
No. It also need to be about black men and black men and black women and black women. And I say that not in a sexual way.
I was like, gay?
No. I'm saying that on how we treat each other. How
Okay.
black women treat black women and how
Oh.
black men treat black
All
we
women.
need
of that.
to talk about
Yeah.
all of
That
that.
can get deep,
all
man.
of that. So
And
that's why I'm saying, like, that's why that's gonna be a show by itself. So next week, that's gonna be our show. So please tune in, check us out again. We aim to air at 12:30 p.m. every Saturday, but you know, technical difficulty sometimes delays us a little bit. So, but still, watch out for us. If you're not following our social media pages, please, we're the Diamond Lounge podcast. The Diamond Lounge at Facebook, at Diamond Lounge Podcast on Instagram, or the Diamond Lounge on YouTube, and that's where we show our behind the scenes, which we will have this week. And of course, we're on Spotify, iTunes,
Awesome.
Google Play, and all that kind of
All
stuff. So
that.
you can catch us on the go whenever. Okay, there's no excuse not to be listening. So, but like I said, we'll see you next week. Thank you very much.
Peace and love.
That was so much